Well, hello, it's me again. Pretty sure this is episode 7, not entirely sure. I have no script, nothing's prepared. I've just realised I have to do this now on Monday because I'm playing tonight and my H4n, which I use for external audio, will be at my brother's tomorrow until I pick it up at some point late in the day. I'm using a different camera today. This is in 4K. This is my son's camera he's just got. Now it's using a no-name shotgun mic, and I hope I've got it set correctly, because if I haven't, then I'll have no way of syncing the audio, because there will be no audio. This video is going to be a little bit of less of a clickbaity title. A bit more personal and serious. Now, I'm going through a pretty dark depression at the moment. This is a multi-headed hydra of a situation, because as well as all the stuff that I'm still trying to deal with of, not being able to do 3D anymore, and there's a lot of heavy stuff going on in the family. I can't go into details because it involves basically people who aren't me and would rather it wasn't in the public domain. So I will respect that. I would urge those of you that may know that I've told in confidence not to mention it in the comments here. Got my reasons. But it's a pretty serious headfuck, to put it mildly. So I've got that on top of everything else. Now, I want to get straight out of the gate and just say that don't worry, because I've been dealing with depression since my late teens. I know, that this is a passing thing. I know it'll lift. I also know ways I can help to deal with it. As I'm supposed to be playing tonight, as I mentioned, with Gypsy Dave Smith at the Turf. We played last night. One thing we always mention is what we call doctor music. If you're having a really bad time with depression or a lot of shit going on in your life, if you're a musician, the best thing you can do is play music, especially with other musicians, because it lifts your mood up. All right, it doesn't last forever. I woke up this morning, right back to square one, but it acts as a temporary fix. So I'm playing again tonight, which means tonight all the way through to tomorrow, I'll be fairly all right. I've got a pretty busy day of life stuff to do tomorrow, like take my son to try and find a bike and things. I guess that I'm working on Wednesday teaching, so I've not really got time to do too much thinking until Thursday. Now, one thing I have noticed, and this is where this may get a bit interesting for people who aren't British at all and don't understand the British culture. Now, I'll give you a slight little sort of roundup that it's perfectly common for people in the British Isles to go to the pub, right? Going to the pub 2 or 3 times a week does not make you an alcoholic, right? I know that in other countries it's somewhat different to that, and people who go to pubs are normally seen as, I remember the trouble I had when I was living in Montreal trying to find a bar. It took me 2 trains and a half-hour walk. But unless you wanted to go somewhere that served meals. But anyway, so what I have realised, and I was sitting on Saturday night, as I say, there's a lot of very, very serious things going on in my life outside of these videos and the 3D world and stuff like that. That if I'm sitting towards the end of a night on my own, this is bad, because it gives this time to make its own amusement. So what I've decided to do is that if I'm going through a night and the friends I'm drinking with go home, I'm not going to do what I used to do and stay out regardless, because I live my life to a timetable even when I'm enjoying myself. And if I say I'm going to be out till 2 in the morning, I will be out till exactly 2 in the morning, whether I'm enjoying myself or not. Yes, I know how fucked up that is. You don't have to tell me, right? So I'm going to back that off a bit. I'm also going to back off some of the times I go out midweek just to chill out, because there's a big difference between chilling out and sitting in an empty bar with too much time to think. So that's going to have to change as well. I did do a bit of investigation. I'm still in the process of that, of, the idea of flipping guitars, buying and selling guitars and doing them up. I'm still not completely convinced of that 100%. That would need quite a bit of outlay, and if I get it wrong, and there are plenty of horror stories out there, people who have tried this and got it wrong, that would use the majority of my savings. And I've got to think long and hard. There's no magical money tree. I've got to make sure that every penny counts. Now, I've been continuing on with one of my other ideas. Although it is creative in some ways, it's completely, away from the 3D world. It doesn't use my hands too much. I don't know. I'm starting to have the little voice of doubt in my head saying that, look, yeah, it might take 6 months to a year before it builds up any income. But what happens if it doesn't? Is there really any point continuing? And see, that's the little voice in my head that goes, you might as well give up now, Robson. You're going to fail anyway, so why waste your time? So you've got to tell that voice to go screw itself with a large spiky dildo covered in nails and keep on regardless. So I'm keeping on doing the things. It's slowed down a bit. One, because there's a lot of calls on my time at the moment. Ironically and stupidly, I thought, right, I stopped doing 3D and suddenly I have all this spare time on my hands. No, I don't. I have less time on my hands because now people think I have more time on my hands. So that's the thing, I do have to do a bit more time management of organising my week a bit better to make use of what time I've got. So today, because of when I picked my daughter up from school and then there was shopping, I was sitting there at about 10 past midday, and I'm going, well, there's not really much point starting anything, really, because by the time I get into it, I'm going to have to go. And it breaks the stream of consciousness. So I've got to work a lot of this stuff out. The fact that I'm gigging 2 nights a week, I don't work on weekends anymore. It limits the time a bit. And yes, I'm quite aware that all the people who are in the business say, yes, you should be working 80 hour days and doing the thing 7 days a week. Fuck off. Ain't happening. This is not because I don't want it, badly enough, but because I value my own sanity, my own health, and the fact that I like actually to have some semblance of a bloody social life. Scary, yeah? One of the things I find hardest is there's still a lot of people on my Facebook, obviously, that do 3D for a living. And there's still a part of me that wants to be amongst the centre of it. I know that's not going to happen. Now, I do know that if I'm stuck, one of the easiest ways I can make money is to do some tutorials. But the development time is going to be a lot longer because I'm going to sneeze in a minute. I can only do about maximum 2 hours a day. And not every day then, because, I've got to look after these and what's left. So there's a lot of stuff rattling around my head at the moment. I'm not in the most positive of places. The amount of people I had coming up to me on Friday and Saturday night, complete strangers, asking if I was okay because I had a face, quote unquote, like a smacked arse. And, you say, yeah, I'm fine. I wasn't fine. I was nowhere near fine. I wasn't in the same universe as fine. But I don't want to burden other people with my problems. Now, those of you that remember many, many years ago when I was doing the old Wayne casts, in a way, that was a way of me sorting my own head out and getting negative shit out of my head, but under the guise of this character version of me that I'd made. Now, these are a similar sort of thing. I've done a lot of things that have, in these videos, that have trying to help people and trying to help them to monetize things going forward. But there's going to be occasional ones where it is about me because I need to get some shit out of there and, then it's gone. So I hope you'll forgive that this one's maybe not as interesting as all the other ones. I've had some good feedback from people, and people do seem to be taking it on board. I'm trying to help others not be in the same position as me, whether that's physically or financially. I'm trying to make sure that, look, I'll give you the benefit of my 27 years of experience and the things I did wrong that I should have, monetized earlier. And hopefully you'll get that and you'll make a good go of it. Because I'm not one of these people that gets jealous if somebody else is doing well. Just the opposite. I love it when other people do well. Because you're going, yeah, excellent, fantastic, mate, that's brilliant, at least somebody's doing all right. And so I'm always quite positive about that. And the way people process things. I do need it, and I'll be honest with you, there's that much stress going on at the moment. It's very hard to think in a quiet space. Mentally, I mean, not quiet as in noise, but there's that much whizzing around my head. There's not enough space and processing power left to sit and do what I need to do, which is come up with the ideas, write stuff down, research stuff, find out a way forward. Unfortunately, this might go on for some time. So I've got to try and find an alternate headspace to live in and inhabit on a day-to-day basis that enables me to do that. Not sure what the solution is going to be. I'm not sure if there is one, but we'll find out. But anyway, I'm going to cut this dead. I'm going to record the same thing again without the shotgun mic plugged in, just in case it's all went a bit wobbly, because I've never really tested my son's camera out with this shotgun mic. And I'm hoping the settings that I've pressed on the top are doing the job. If the sound's good enough, I'll use it off that, but that's why I've got the H4n there, just because I know the audio is good off that. Right, I'm going to get going. I will see you all in episode 8. I'll try and make it a bit less about me then, and hopefully, we'll cover something a bit more useful for you all. I'm Wayne Robson. This has been Life After 3D, episode 7. See you next time. Bye-bye.